Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I think also I left one of the earlier questions unanswered, I think came from the European Union on the experience we have with online platforms. Yes, we work with them as we work with other modern technology companies, let's call it. They participate in some of our trainings and basically familiarizing police and judiciaries about the methods they're using internally to identify cases and what they're doing in their platforms. But it's something that we just started, and it does not include at this stage awareness raising. On the issue of climate change, I think it's one of the points that I made earlier on, and I think it's a very, very interesting link, and it shows how trafficking is linked to many aspects of our economies that do not go well and need to be regulated. And again, I want to say that climate action can also bring good benefits to trafficking persons because of the reasons that I mentioned before. Finally, organ trafficking, and I was quite intrigued by the statement of the earlier speaker, is one of the forms of trafficking in persons that is very well known, is very well spoken about, but we have very little data. I think it's less than 1% of all cases globally of trafficking in persons reported to us through our global report. This is one of the issues that we're very worried about, the reasons of this underreporting, and especially because these types of trafficking requires medical expertise, it requires the involvement of medical facilities, of other types of companies like insurance companies and all. So we're doing a report that will be published later on this year on organ trafficking and on trafficking for the purpose of organ removal. And in closing, Mr. Chair, I would like to thank you for the opportunity today, and I would like again to note that 20 years on from the adoption of the United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime and the Trafficking Protocol, there has been progress in the fight against trafficking, but there's still a long, long way to go. And I think the statements that we heard today, all day, and I think the ones that will come tomorrow, point to the mutation of the crime over the years and to the new challenges we're facing. And I think the pandemic did force us to innovate, did force us to take action in ways that we probably would not have done differently. And I think there is some things that we need to keep from this period for the overall effort against this crime. Thank you, Mr. Chair.